Today we're making these super easy crop tops for your 18-inch doll or your American Girl doll. I am using Dollar Tree yarn, which is a size 4 medium weight yarn, and I use the colors Rose and the colors Meadow. If you're interested in other tutorials I've done, like how to make this dress or how to make this crop top and these shorts, please subscribe. Okay, so I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is a I, and to begin we're going to do a slip stitch. To do a slip knot, we're going to wrap our yarn around our fingers twice. The tail end is in the front. Then we will move the back end forward so you have an X on your fingers. And then you're going to keep moving that in between your two fingers. Hold on to it and pull everything. And then from there you can stick that on your hook. Okay, and then we're going to do, we're going to chain 40. So to chain, you simply yarn over and pull through. So yarn over, pull through, and it will create these V's. So we're going to do that 40 times. So I will meet you after we have chained 40. Okay, so here is our chain of 40. And that is what we call our foundation chain. So from here we're going to do our row 1. And so this loop that is around our hook doesn't count. This is the first chain from our hook, and this is the second chain from our hook right there. So we're going to do a half double crochet into that second chain from our hook. So to do that, we're going to yarn over. I'm going to insert our hook into that chain. So it looks like that. We're going to yarn over again. We're going to pull through that chain. Then we're going to have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over again, and pull through all 3. So that's a half double crochet, and that is all we're going to do for our first row all the way across. So I'm going to zoom out for a minute. And I'm going to do this in fast motion, and then so you can pause the video if you want now, and I will meet you when we're at the end of our row. Okay, so here we are on our last stitch of this row, and that is the end of our row 1. So now to begin our second row, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. So we're going to yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to turn our work. So you're just going to move this around, and now you're going to be working this way. So we have this loop on our hook, we have our chain 1 we just did, and then here is our first chain of this row, which is where we're going to start this row. So we're going to yarn over. This is just a half double crochet again. And that's how we're going to start this row. So once again, we're just going to do half double crochets all the way across for this row 2. So I will meet you when we have completed that. So I have 2 stitches left in my row, my second row. This part right here is that chain that we did to move to this row. So so don't do a stitch in it. So all that we don't need to worry about, just in that last stitch right there we're gonna go. Okay, so that is the end of row 2. So now for our third row, because this is a beginner tutorial, I'm going to use stitch markers. If you don't have stitch markers, no big deal, you could just count. So maybe you bought like a crochet kit and it comes with these little stitch markers, which are basically just plastic safety pins. Or if you don't have those, guess what? You can just use regular safety pins. No big deal. Or if you don't have either of those and you don't think you need it, you can just count. So from this end where we finished off, I'm going to count 6. So remember, this chain on our hook doesn't count. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in the 7th spot, I'm gonna put my safety pin or my stitch marker. So that's in the 7th space. And I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will put a safety pin there. Okay, and then I'm going to go from this side just to make sure that we are even and symmetric. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll put my last safety pin in there. And then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spaces in between those. So this is going to be the front, this is going to be the armhole, and over here will be the back. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work, and I'm just going to do half double crochets until I get to that first safety pin. And again, you don't have to use the safety pin, you could just count to 7. Okay, so I'm going to remove it. I'm going to do a stitch into it. Okay, and this is where we're going to make our armhole. So I'm going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then where the safety pin is, which if you didn't have a safety pin there, you would just count 6 spaces. I'm gonna yarn over and do my half double crochet into that space. So there we go, and then I'm just going to do half double crochets all the way till I get to my next safety pin. So I'll meet you there. So I'm going to remove this safety pin, and then we will do a stitch where it was. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 6 again. And then where this stitch marker is, which is right there, don't lose it. Once you remove it, then I'm going to do a half double crochet into that space. And then I will just complete half double crochets until I am at the end. Okay, so that is the end of that row. I'm going to chain one and turn my work again. And now I'm just going to work half double crochets all the way across, including where I have my armholes. When you get to the armholes, just go in that first top loop and do your half double crochet into every single one of those chains. Kind of just like this would be your foundation chain again. And then when you get back, go back to going through both the front and the back loops of those two. I will meet you at the end of this row again. When you've come to the end of the row, chain one again and turn your work again. And then we're just going to repeat rows of half double crochets all the way across for the next 2 rows. So I will meet you when we have that finished. So this is what it looks like when we are finished. And we are, let's see, there's our little shirt. So if you want, you can be done at this point. If you don't want to be done and you want to do the picot stitch, we're going to do it right now. So after we finish that row, we are going to chain 3. And we'll turn our work this way. So now to do the picot, in that first chain we did of our chain 3, in the back bar, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and do a slip stitch. And that is our picot. So then we will go into the next space and do a single crochet. From there, we're going to chain 3. I will zoom in really good so you can see it. Okay, so chain 3. 1, 2, 3. First chain that we did, insert your hook, yarn over, slip stitch, so go through both of those spaces, and then we're going to single crochet into the next space. So to single crochet, you insert your hook, you yarn over, you pull through. There are 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through those 2. From there we will chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. First chain that we did, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through both of those. So we're just slip stitching next space, insert, and do a single crochet. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out again so you can see what that looks like on our border. So there are our picots. I'm gonna keep going. Two, three, go into the first space. Slip knot, single crochet. Okay, I'm just going to repeat that all the way across. If you need to, you can back up and watch it again, pause the video, but I will meet you when we are here. Okay, so we are at the end and we're going to do our last one. So we're chaining 3, and then we will go into that back loop and slip stitch, and then in this last stitch right here, you should have, mine's kind of sticking together, but in that very last stitch we will simply just single crochet. So that's that, and then we'll cut it off and tie it off right here. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and sew this in just to show you how to do it. So just take a yarn needle of any sorts and then just weave. In and out. Pull your yarn through and then come back the other direction so it doesn't come undone. Okay, and then I'm going to go this way one more time. And then I can just cut that off right there. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in learning how to close up the back, leave a comment and let me know that that's something that you're interested in seeing. I also have a link in the description on how to make these high-waisted shorts that match these tank tops. As well, I'm hoping to do my next video on how to make this dress, and I will leave another link in the description on how to do this crop top.